Hey, this is WTii, and this is a 1 versus 1 on the two rivers. At least you'd think that's what it is. I'll tell you what it actually is. It's something called a Burrow rush. Now, there's two races that this is virtually impossible to do successfully against, and those two races are undead and human. However, undead actually has a little sort of glimmer of hope that they don't get it right. They just need to mess up with the ghoul, basically, and not attack you properly. And it's difficult against undead, but not impossible. Against human, if they know how to get militia, how, you know, most humans do, yeah, that's pretty impossible. Not gonna happen. Now, I've got to concentrate on doing the build order here, because I have recently been playing around with this. This is something I used to do way back in the day, but I used to do it slightly different. I've altered the build order a little bit, and I'm playing around with it now. This is my first game trying it out for actual real.
What do you want? Something need doing?
There's the undead. So, what have we got? We want to get close to the mine. We want to get within cigarette space. That'll do, to be honest. As long as I can hit the main, and I'm within the range of the crypt, which that is, then there you go. So I've got 5 in there. Basically, now this is a smaller map, but it takes like 50 seconds to build a burrow, so that'll be enough. But essentially, as soon as you start building the burrows in the first place, you want to start sending down another 3 peons. Now, here comes the ghoul, but I should be able to handle this, even if I lose that burrow, which I almost inevitably will, but we'll find out. There is no tavern on this map, so unfortunately this is really strong if you've got taverns on the map, so it's dependent on that. And obviously the 4-player maps is even harder to pull off, because you'd actually have to come across the right person, and it looks map hacky, but whatever. He's given up on that and he's switching to towers. He's got his graveyard up, so we'll see how that works out for him. Got his altar. Get the Farseer coming out, get something building. I can't reach the tower, I don't think. One of them can, and the other 2 will just have to go onto the crypt here. Now, don't worry about repairing just yet. Concentrate and get as much damage as you can out. Farseer is coming down. I'm trying to think about my build order. Got to be careful about that tower hitting the peons. So get the peons to the back so you can repair. Surprised you can hit that one. Surely not now. That'll do it. Get another peon to the back. Now you want to spread out the peons. The more spread your peons are in the burrows, the more damage they're going to do. That's basically it. Oh, you can really reach that far, can you? That's pretty long range. But we'll have to keep going with this and send down another few. I probably should have done that by now, but another few can make their way down. Farseer will come down. As soon as you get the hero in there, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Go on the Death Knight. This is going to be so hard to do. Going to send another few down. Beam damage is going to really hammer this through. Stick on the DK, because that's the only thing that's going to really be around. So I'm going to lose 1 burrow. That's almost inevitable against dead. But keep on that DK. Now switch to the fiends. Careful of taking any damage if you can help it. I really want to get a bit more wood though, so I can actually get barracks coming up. Go back on the DK whenever possible, and otherwise go on the fiend. Want to swap out the peons if you can. Start getting a barracks down and maybe a war mill so I can start sieging if I have to. Try not to kill them with your burrows. Unfortunately that might happen, but obviously if the burrows kill something, then you're going to get the experience for it. place down another Burrow, try and get that going. Or just have to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, if I can take out a Fiend, I will take it out. I'm not going to hesitate. But I'd rather try and do it with my units than the Burrows themselves. As you can see, it's going... The real key to countering this is just to simply come to my base. Although I can somewhat find a way around that since I have a hero. That makes my life a lot easier. Originally when I was doing it, it was pretty much straightforward. You didn't even really get... You try to get a hero, but you get it a lot later. So we'll get the crypt down. Have a little sneak see. I don't think there's anything else hidden at the back, just the DK. He can't heal up. That's the reason why you go for the DK quite heavily. His grunts will start to come out now. Go on the one thing that's really easy to kill, which is the ghoul. Oh my goodness. The little fiend hit there. Keep on the ghouls because they're super easy to kill. Split out the peons. Try to keep a healthy peon in each burrow if you can for later in case you really need it. Farseer is obviously going to have to rebuild at this point. Back onto the DK whenever available. If not, just take care of those skeleton rods relatively quickly. Grunts coming out. It's going to do something. Now, meanwhile at the base, I'm actually going to get myself pillage. Just so that later on that's going to pay off in some small way. I'll leave a grunt on this cigarette that's building, so that should do some nice damage. Now, try and get the acolytes whenever you can when they're repairing. He can't get siege until tier 2, so that's one of the good things against undead. Go straight onto the DK as soon as you can. As soon as he makes himself available, then back onto any other available unit. Farseer is back. Now what we're going to want to do, take you out, just do that, get a shot now, keep the grunts coming. Try not to take damage with the grunts, it's not really worth it against a tower, that's the one tricky thing. Undead, that cigarette makes my life a bit of a nightmare, but whatever, I'm on it. How many coils have you got? None yet. I'm going to be on you though, I'll be on you soon. Try to attack whenever you can, keep the repairs going. Coil will go off on that grunt in a moment, but try to get on that DK. There's a good hit. It's alright though, keep the pressure on. Now I'll finish off the crypt, keep the grunts coming out, get the war mill down so I can actually start putting down some towers because they're going to do a lot more damage than the burrows. What has he got? Not really that much. He's spent quite a bit on repairing. Do damage to those fiends straight off the bat as soon as you can. Try not to kill him with the burrows if you can, but it's still probably going to happen because you've got a lot of damage coming out from the burrows. Back onto the DK if you can, otherwise don't worry too much about him. He's going to go down now, almost definitely. I'll be surprised if he doesn't. He doesn't. Very lucky. Try to save peons if you can, but it's going to happen. A couple peons will end up dying. It's just the way it is. That's why you want as many healthy ones as you can. Keep the grunts coming out. Down goes the DK after TPing. Now bring down another few peons because I've got more than enough. Just as backups, basically. Grunt can pull back slightly. The grunts are basically there because they're really cheap to build. It's easier to get wood, gold earlier on in the game than it is wood. Back onto the crypt. I don't see anything else building for this guy that can threaten me at this point. He demolishes soon. Very soon. Actually, I need a stronghold. So no, I do need tier 2 as well. So I'm not going to be getting that anytime soon. Bring back a little bit with the walls. Can't do that. I'm thinking of what else to do. Towers now. Try and move on to that if you can. Going to be a little bit tricky. Bring the grunt down to try and do some damage. Should be able to take down this crypt in a moment. Go for the acolytes when possible. He's obviously going to come. This is a good thing about putting down the towers, is they provide that extra sort of secret threat. It makes him feel more panicked. It forces him to make a move that he doesn't necessarily want to do. I'm going to cancel that tower because it's going to go down. Put down another one straight away just to basically keep the threat on him. Say to him that I'm not putting up with this. You are not going to get away with this. You are going to go down. Still got 5 peons of gold. That's what we're aiming for. Try to get the Farseer out because he looks like he's getting in a bit of trouble. He might actually die again. Scroll of speed will take care of that. Heal himself, back out of the game. Grunts are going to suffer, but the tower is almost up, which is going to change the dynamic and basically flip this into my favour now, quite heavily. If I can get heals on that other tower, that'd be great, but that might not necessarily happen. Might have to sacrifice that one. Any damage to the DK is going to help. Bring back the Farseer, take the Grunt back. Still Grunts coming out. Could tech, potentially, but that's going to take a long-ass time. Peon getting well out of his safety zone. Started shifting damage to the Necropolis, to be honest. It doesn't really matter at this point. He doesn't seem to be building much more. He's probably a little low on gold. And this Necropolis is going down. Now I could actually go hard on the Echoes if I really wanted to. Should I feel safe? And there we go. Job done! That's how you Burrow rush. Now, you're going to have lots of different opponents. They're all going to have very different ways of handling it. And each game is generally pretty varied and different. And this is my first time doing it in a long time. I used to do this. I used to have a proper account for this stuff. Now, don't get any ideas. This isn't something you're going to see like crop up every day. I will throw these in probably every now and then. Especially probably better games. Well, no, that was a really good game. That was a really good example because it was dragged out. But if the game's too easy, then it's a bit boring. If the game's too hard, then, well, you know which way it's going. But if it's back and forth a bit like that, you can't quite tell which way it's going to go. I do have control, but is he going to be able to mass enough before taking me down? You don't know. Those are the best games, and I'll save those ones, I think, for uploading. So, there you have it. There's a Burrow rush. Bit unusual, but gets the job done, I suppose. Well, there it is. Alright, thanks for watching. This has been WTii. Please subscribe, like, and comment. I'll see you later.